All right, we're getting started, and it looks like they're starting at the Recorder Lake.
No, that's not the worst place to start.
No, it's pretty close to the initial little starting point here.
Nothing else. If there's no other way to get there quickly, you can get to the graveyard pretty quickly from there.
Yeah, and couple other footnotes to note. Oh, okay, we have Lionel, so.
Ooh. And they hurt as much as they always do. Ow.
Dark Falls dies, and there was just a gambling parlor there.
And...
But yeah, other things to note is boss and normal enemies' HP has been increased or decreased by 2 points. There's a little bit of variance there. And nothing really too unique out of the way. Magical Boomerang is the best item.
Yep, and that's what everyone will say until we find the book. See, the arrow is a bit more expensive than usual. We'll see how relevant that is later.
Yeah. Checking on the way up here to the Vanilla Blue Ring shop. Could be our arms item, though. Old man with nothing there. Must be a potion shop.
Yep. So I just recall seeing that the enemy bait was only 66. That... I want to say that was the more expensive shop, I think?
Oh, no! That's not good!
Oh, no, it's not. No, it is not.
That is our large secret, and that is one of the lowest values I have ever seen it. That is only a 73.
I've seen one that was at like 53.
So, for context here, folks, Vanilla's large secrets are 100, and there's only 3 of them, so that's a significant amount of rupees that are not going to be available to our runners. Let's hope that the medium secret is on the beefier side to make up for that.
Definitely. Even the small secrets being better, that would help compensate for that. Oh yeah, 56. Yeah, that was on that one seed I tracked, right.
Blue Levers here, and they are unfortunately not a bomb dropping enemy. Alright, medium secret. Okay, it's not the greatest, but 34 is still good.
Yeah, it's an improvement.
Yeah.
And,
losing, but it's not gonna...
We got Vanilla Star, and it's a potion shop.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's still not gonna compensate for the huge loss that the large secrets have, but... It's still not gonna be... I would say it's not gonna be a poverty seed.
Yeah, you gotta take your silver linings where you get them.
Yeah, if the mediums were also below value, then I would consider this a poverty seed. But no, they make up for it a little bit. And there's a hint shop, and those are some fairly expensive hints. And that is something else to note, is that our hints are helpful. All of them are helpful, but they are also hidden to us until we find that book and can understand the old man. And there we have a shop selling very expensive hearts. Normally those are only 10 rupees.
If it comes to the point where our runners are buying hearts, something's gone wrong.
You might need that touch up.
Especially since that particular shop is 2 spaces away from a ferry.
Oh yeah, that one does no dice.
Although SassageLink didn't make it to the ferry, unfortunately.
Yeah. Alright, we have another staircase here underneath the Armos. And that is a sword hint. We do not know if that is a white sword or a magical sword hint.
SassageLink heading through Lost Woods.
Yep. Gonna go see what the graveyard has for us. Meanwhile, we're gonna check this coast corner here. And we find the letter.
Ooh.
And level 9 in the grave.
Wow, that seems oddly appropriate.
Now, that could trip up our runners a little bit. And we find level 6 for Dark Falls.
Seeing where they spawn, that's pretty much where the dungeon normally ends in vanilla.
and it's all the way in the corner. Now, the reason why I say that that vanilla 9 can trip, or that level 9 can trip up our runners. That level 9, the sea considers the grave a feat of strength, which may mislead our runners to think that the power bracelet is required. And there's Mags at the letter cave.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
Alright, the Armo statues. Staircase.
So I think that leaves only 2 Armo spots left. One of them was where Dark Falls is now.
And we now know, and we unfortunately don't know what that one is, but
well,
we pretty much...
It's a staircase, so we know where the Armos item is going to be. It's just a matter of what is it.
Yes, it's in the grotto across from level 2. So no wood sword sighting yet.
So oof,
apparently we missed a bomb shop sighting, and that was a 35 rupee bomb.
Ew, ouch. Yeah, regarding Rook 00782, a lot of stuff can be randomized in here. Basically what is in each location, whether it's a shop, take any cave, a warp cave, a dungeon, they can be anywhere. The enemy groups are shuffled, enemy hit points can be shuffled.
What just killed Sassage? I did not see.
I didn't see either. But with Lionels about all over the place, it's not necessarily hard to guess. So we're still
looking for that for any sort of sword, or maybe even a take any case so we can get a candle going.
Right, yeah.
There is some solace in knowing that it has to be in a free cave. You will not find the wooden sword blocked behind a bombable wall or a bush that you have to burn.
There aren't that many of those left. There's the shop out on the coast. There's the Armos item, whatever it is.
Has Vanilla 1 been checked? I forget.
I believe it has.
Oof.
Wasn't that where the hint shop was?
Oh yeah, that's right.
There's also the waterfall and the cave above the waterfall haven't been checked yet.
Yeah, that would be the vanilla white sword there. Cave above the waterfall.
Are swords progressive? No, they are not.
No, we know where the magical sword is. However, the amount of hearts you need to get it are randomized between 10 and 14. Conversely, if we find the white sword item, whatever that may be, because that is shuffled into the pool, that's anywhere from 4 to 6 hearts. Alright, Deadwood's great corner.
The Potato King 83, it is default flags, the default shapes for the dungeons, but the rooms themselves have been shuffled.
Yeah, it's first quest dungeon layout. No, but the entrance can be in any wall of the dungeon. And Sassage is about to discover the mag's location and cannot pick it up, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I would.
What a good information to have if they end up getting a lot of heart containers.
Oh yeah. And Darkfall's about to stumble onto level 9. Matter of fact, I'm getting deja vu here. They're essentially checking each other's locations right now from the last time we saw these two locations.
Pretty much, yeah. Is SassageLink gonna exploring dungeons when you have really nothing to defend yourself with is probably not the best idea.
Well, we're key locked here anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Fair enough,
But sometimes you can just find a free Triforce or maybe even a free item staircase that will let you get your item right away.
it doesn't hurt to check. But once you see that that's not the case, yeah, you don't have much other choice. But
Okay, now this is something that Sassage, I think, died checking, or was it Falls? I forget. But we have not seen what was inside this Armos.
Right, yeah, it does. SassageLink died to that one, and it's a potion cave. Oh, and Dark Falls died to this one, and it's
Pay me for the door repair. We're about to see what our... Ooh, there's that 35 bomb shop. Dark Fall's gonna start buying those. Alright, what is our Armos item? It's the red ring!
Oh!
That's gonna help a lot.
That's beautiful. It's a shame that Dark Falls died before he was able to make it there, but still, that is a lovely, lovely find. And
Candle shop.
Dark Falls buying a candle.
Found one blowing up a wall, so can now start exploring. There's the wooden sword cave. Where was that?
Vanilla 2.
Oh my goodness. So close and yet so far.
Yeah, but at least Dark Falls has something. Granted, when you're up against Lionels, it's not going to do much good, but... And he did buy, Dark Falls did buy bombs earlier, so I was able to check some of those locations. I expect to go on. Not much there,
18 rupees for the old man, or the door repair. And there goes all of Dark Falls' money.
He's probably glad that he had already spent a good bit of it.
Yeah. So Dark Falls has a means of defending himself now with the candle and the bombs, but it's not exactly ideal when you're dealing with Lionels, to be honest.
Not.
Ooh, and Sassage getting a forced bomb drop there.
Very nice.
Oh no!
And well, that's certainly a small secret.
That is 2 rupees. At this point, the medium does not compensate. I'd say this is a poverty scene.
Yeah, it's leaning in that direction.
I was hopeful when we had an above average medium. But the large combined with that small, yeah, no.
Nope.
And it's time to see what the... Ooh, there's our level 2 sighting. That's a free floor item.
Yeah, technically key lock, but I think there's a way...
Oh!
Hello, bomb hole.
Yep, that's a nice trick. That's a classic one from if you ever seen... Oh, Wizrobe's in 2! Oh, there goes my idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, have you ever seen the classic, the self-unlocking door in vanilla level 1? That's actually something you can manipulate it as well. There's our compass, and ooh!
Yep, it's about as far away as one would expect it to be.
It's actually pretty much, I think, in the vanilla room.
I believe so too, yeah.
Alright, looks like we got above average HP from the Gurias. And there's some bombs down there. So that is not our item. Our item is very unique. So let's see what we got here. Gurias could be guarding this. So Gurias and Wizrobes in the same dungeon. And then there's a take any for Dark Falls. Gets another heart container. and is slowly but steadily moving towards Wooden Sword as well as the Red Ring, which will help them immensely.
Definitely. Especially since
there's the item! Recorder!
There's the recorder. Ooh, another Take Any Cave for Dark Falls.
So Recorder allows them to check their spawn point with the Recorder Lake as it's known. And other than that, its only use is to deal with Dig Doggers as well as warp to any completed dungeons you've collected the Triforce in.
And another gambling hall.
Uh-oh. Can we go around that? Looks like we can.
Oh, wow.
3 heart containers found. No! Level 2 is ladder blocked. Completely.
Well,
We at least got the item.
There, at least.
Yes, and Red Ring for Dark Falls. So level 2 is ladder blocked.
So if we hadn't seen SassageLink get it before, we might have been hard pressed to figure out whether that was no, you couldn't find
Any roads.
Ooh, the warps. So the one that we found was at the coast. This one's in that corner. Okay.
All right. Gonna go ahead and check the nearby location. Dark Falls now has the wood sword. Where's our third any road?
I'm liking where 2 of these warps are.
That's pretty good. That's level 5.
Close to the waterfall. That's good.
The waterfall close to Death Mountain. And that's the forest grotto next just south of the desert.
No real quick access to Death Mountain.
No, but they do have their spawn point, which they can use as well. And 3 is somewhat close. It's a few screens away, but it's not too bad. And we're just finding more secrets here. Small secret for Dark Falls. And nothing here. I think it's, You know, we haven't seen it. We have not seen the coast item yet.
No, they haven't really had much of a reason to head that way as of yet.
And we are seeing Sassage climb up the mountain, probably to go back to 1 to resume their course that they initially were on. Which is smart, I'd say. Go back to the coast, finish your checks. And Dark Falls does have the red ring. We did see him pick it up.
Yeah, because the quote-unquote default color was a darker shade of green.
And there's another take any for Sassage. So, kind of nice that even though this is a poverty seed, we don't really need to buy anything important, except for maybe more bombs.
Or
the bombs are still fairly expensive.
Or enemy bait.
Well, we might still need that. You never know where
I believe the cheap one was 66, which isn't bad.
Oh, no.
It's not great, but it's not bad.
Alright, some more money there, and our... Oh, boy! Ladder required.
Well, that's half of my prediction come to pass already.
That is the silver arrows as our coast item.
Oh, SassageLink doesn't have the candle yet. I see, because didn't burn the bush at Vanilla 8.
Nope, has yet to stumble into a Take Any Gate or a candle shop. And Dark Falls has now stumbled onto the Any Roads.
So I believe the only dungeons we've seen so far are 2, 6, and 9, right?
And there's the other sword hint.
We know where one of the sword locations are. We know where the magical sword is. It's at the Vanilla Letter Cave, I believe.
Yes. We have not had a mag sighting or a white sword sighting. And we only know where we only know where 2 dungeons are.
Well, like I said, we've seen 2, 6, and 9.
Yeah.
But
I really don't count 9 because we're looking for Triforce dungeons.
fair enough. It feels weird that we've seen so few dungeons so far.
Yeah, I'm starting to think there's over on Death Mountain somewhere. And there's another shop. Oof! I hope that bomb shop's not the rare shop. That would be pretty bad. Sassage has a key, so is now going to start diving 6. And it's a good thing.
Perhaps more importantly, has something to hit things with.
Yeah. Now those likes are kind of dangerous, but they only eat your shield you have. And wow, those are some powerful gels.
Yeah.
And we may be ladder blocked here in 6 as well. What is this seed? I hope the ladder is in here.
I think there's only one room in that direction, maybe 2.
And we some Gibdas as well. Thankfully, the Red Wing quadruples your defense, so those 1.5 hearts might as well be 6 for Sassage. Oh shoot.
Oh shoot indeed. So in dungeons 5 through 8, we're guaranteed to have a pass-through staircase.
Yes, but noping out of there because there is no ranged combat available for Sassage, so cannot kill the enemies to clear that room.
Well, they could have left and come back in and see if they were all on the correct side, but
yeah.
They decided not to do that.
And I can somewhat agree with that play because it would take you a fair amount of time to get there, and they might not cooperate at all. So probably best to start looking for more dungeons and maybe even a candle so you can start checking burn bushes because there's still a lot of overworld that Sassage has not checked yet. Darkfalls, meanwhile, has been on point.
Yeah, and part of the concern that I was having, Darkfalls has the candle, has been checking burnable spots. We have hardly seen. The most we've seen were the Takeny caves.
And there's another payment for the door repair. This spot is yet to be checked, and we're about to see what is at Recorder Lake. It's not activating.
Okay.
Recorder Lake is a pay me for the door repair. Ouch.
Oh, man. And I believe from the math, I believe that was 18 rupees.
Yes, I did mention that earlier.
Oh, sorry.
It's alright.
So the thing is, as mentioned, one thing we haven't seen is the White Sword Cave, and when Darkfalls finds it, he's guaranteed to get it because the heart container requirements are between 4 and 6. So whenever SassageLink finds it, there is a chance he can get it, but it's not guaranteed.
Now this is good for Sassage right here. Going up the mountain, we know that at least one of these bomb slots up here leads to a candle shop. And speaking of candle, we're going to start checking Candle Alley.
And paying the price for it.
Level 4 found.
Ooh, level 4.
Hint shop as well. Level 4 is at the Potion in Armos. Over by Vanilla level 6. This is actually a relatively small dungeon. There's our 4th take any.
Wow.
And Darkfall's gonna
taking the potion. Interesting.
Darkfalls knows how bad the money is in the seed.
And it looks like, even though there's a dark, that looks like a Chevy room that SassageLink was just in.
Yeah, and I don't... And here's the thing, I completely agree with taking the potion here, because you know what the secret is, and that is a fast Triforce in 4.
Wow,
Sashes will probably go back in to redive.
Right. Because we have outside of the recorder in... recorder was in 2. So and recorder isn't really the best item to be finding right now. There's so many other better things we could be finding. The ladder, the bow, raft, perhaps, the power bracelet, perhaps.
Ooh, and this is a Dark Knight dungeon with wall masters.
I'm cool with Dark Nuts.
Yeah, Dark Nuts are that much of a threat. You just have to learn how to lure them. Those wall masters, though, are the main threat.
Well, those red Dark Nuts are tanky. Took a bomb to the face and, well...
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes they don't actually get damaged by the bomb.
Well, it didn't actually take it to the face. He actually took it to the side, and he still didn't die.
Yeah, they look like to be 5 HP. Which I think is just +1, so... Not too bad. And does get some bombs from that darkness, so nice find, but we also have to deal with these wall masters, and wow, max HP wall masters.
Not sure why he's taking the time to take out the wall masters. There was a free item drop for that in that room.
Actually, I don't think Candy Room can drop an item.
No, I think there was free bombs in that room, I think. Or maybe it was the previous room.
I think that dropped from the Dark Nut. And no advancing to the east, so we gotta go south. Ooh, just a heart container right off.
Yeah, we've been finding... Darkfalls has been finding all the hearts in Take-Any Caves, SassageLink finding them all in the dungeon.
And it can bomb through the wall here, so let's see what's beyond. It's a Dig Dogger, but Whoa!
What?
Huh?
The baby Dig Doggers have 0 HP or something? Okay, that's weird, but beneficial.
I've never seen that before.
I don't think I have either.
Okay. I know we have some more veteran runners here in chat. If anyone knows what happened, please let inform us.
Yeah, my best guess is that the baby Dig Doggers had 0 HP, and maybe when they spawned in, they just said nope.
No, they take 3 hits. That's later on. Even with White Sword, they take 3 hits.
Yeah, with +2, -2, yeah, that wouldn't do that much. That is very odd, but I'm sure our racers will be very happy to see that belt.
And Darkfalls will equally be happy to see that Triforce there. Oh, they have 4 HP. Well, someone... Oof, I don't know what to think about that one. Oh yeah, there was a floor drop here. It was just bombs. And Sassage is noping out. Back of keys.
I believe the palette difference is, I think one person might be using an emulator, one might be using a console, so there's a bit of an inherent a slight palette difference because of that.
As for the message at the top of the screen, that is now an option that you can personally choose. It has no impact on gameplay whatsoever. It's like choosing your own skin.
Oh, the World 4, right, yeah.
And Darkfalls is determined to keep diving this dungeon.
And if nothing else, the fact that they both, well, this benefits SassageLink more than Darkfalls right now.
Level 1!
Oh, that is lovely. But since they both got the Triforce out of 4, at least for SassageLink, you can use the whistle to get back to 4, which means quick access to...
Yeah, quick access to 9, that's really good.
Quick access to Death Mountain in general.
And 9... And yeah, but also, more importantly, just 3 screens away from 9.
Apparently, SassageLink had already forgotten about... Well... Huh. Okay, so that one still acts normally. So, maybe the other one was a triple spawn?
I would say so. Yeah, I think that one might have been a triple spawn.
Still wouldn't explain why it happened, though.
Yeah, especially because these things have rolled max on HP. What? What?
Someone's stream lagging would not cause a dig dogger to just insta kill, because it was on the other end of the room. You couldn't have done the bomb. Well, you couldn't have laid a bomb there.
Yeah. Well, let's move on from that topic. I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually as we'll figure it out in post here.
I'm sure if it hasn't already been brought up on the Discord, it probably will soon.
Oh! Maybe it was a master enemy room.
That would be a weird circumstance, but yeah, I could see that.
I forget that's a mechanic sometimes. Because it happens so rarely, you would think that you would not know which one's the master. Because they also spawn randomly.
And things, I didn't even know that was possible for a dig dogger to even be part of that whole equation.
Yeah.
That is weird, but okay, well... It's neat how the game is, what, 30 years old, and we're still learning new things about it.
Pretty much, yeah. It's getting close to its 30th anniversary.
Still haven't found either of the items in one, unless that one heart container was one of them.
Ooh, Mugger! And that's not a good Mugger.
Mugger had a dead end room too, so no reason to pay that one.
Yeah. But that's something significant to know. The Mugger wants your bombs.
Yeah, -1 bombs, or I believe it was 69 rupees.
No, it was a couple years ago. It's been a fair while since I've actually looked at the release dates of the old games. Well, there's our floor drop. The red candle is in one.
Red candle, not a bad find. Especially since we're we're a little offensively challenged still.
Still need to find the item underground. And that will help against land moles and molders, which we have not seen yet.
Thing is, I don't recall, did SassageLink ever even buy
There's the item.
candle?
I don't think so, no. So that's helpful to Sassage. And nice block up there. Our second item here in one. Nice croissant. Yeah, the power bracelet has been found. So now that goes back to my main game there. Sassage gets the Triforce 1. I do want to remind you all that there will be a hint that says a feat of strength will lead to the princess. Now that can mean that our bow, that the power bracelet is required. However, that hint could be misleading in this instance because even though level 9 is at the grave, they count that as a spot that would prop that message. They consider the grave a feat.
And we found level 3.
Yes, we have. I did not see where, though.
It was like, it was still in Death Mountain.
Alright. But yes, what I'm getting at here is level 9 is technically, by the game's understanding, in a feat of strength location. So the power bracelet may not be required, and we'll still get that hint. Because of level 9.
Of course, if we never find the book, then that's a moot point.
Yes, it is.
Not to mention that since Dark Falls has the power bracelet, SassageLink will be getting it shortly. They'll likely be checking those 4 power bracelet locations pretty soon anyway.
That's correct. Alright, power bracelet to get for her Sassage is now noping out.
Well, already full cleared it. No reason to stick around.
And with 1 bomb left, it's gonna check what's right here next door. And that's where level 3 was. It's next door to level 1.
Yeah, I thought so, but I wasn't quite sure if it was that room or one next one over.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either, so
Didn't want to risk giving misleading information. And
yeah.
Free bomb in the Triforce room.
And Sash is gonna do the classic instant open of the door.
If keys ends up being in short supply, opening the locked doors for free is always a good idea.
Oh yeah, those gorillas can take a bomb, but not a sword such. So 5 HP. Oh wow, pretty weak whiz ropes. I don't think the oranges can normally die instantly to a bomb blast.
Yes, they do.
I thought they had like 5 HP. Oh well, doesn't matter. They can die by bombs, and that's good enough for me.
There's our item room. And it's
All hail.
Lord Banana, and he's picking it up.
Well, Boomerang is useful. It can stun enemies that cannot instantly kill, and the ones that can might just be enemies that you might not want to, deal with. It could be like a fairly beefy enemy, has that plus or minus, has that minus 2 HP, and Rupee Boss guarding the Triforce in 3.
Here, take my money, and hey, here, take this triangle thing too. Yeah, I was hesitant to say Dark Falls was going to pick it up until he actually did, because I know some players like to taunt us with that sort of thing.
But I mean, it removes an enemy hitbox, so why wouldn't you take it? And that's I think, their third instance of a heart shop, so looking more and more likely that our bomb shop, the one bomb shop we've seen thus far, is our rare shop.
Well, since it's not that big of an issue now. Now that both players have a decent amount of weaponry, they can take out enemies that can drop bombs.
Alright, this is the last cave up here on Death Mountain. Or at least this side. That's our third one found. Oh, hi there, Gleeok. A 3-headed Gleeok in level 3.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to have a dark room, I guess.
Glow-in-the-dark tiles.
Kind of defeats the purpose of a dark room, doesn't it?
Really does. Level 8 is power base blocked.
Okay.
That's the money dungeon right there.
Yeah,
It's-
2 items. We'll
Yeah,
see if the enemy grouping is palatable.
Oh, maybe not. This
Oh,
dungeon
maybe
is
not.
100% ladder blocked. There's no way to go north from here because it's every other room.
Well, there's the second half of my prediction up in smoke. But hey, 1 out of 2 ain't bad.
Also, I like to point out here, I'm looking at our map. 5 of our dungeons are surrounding vanilla level 6, and it's on the grid.
Oh wow.
They're not all in cardinal directions, mind you. There's level 7 at the forgotten spot.
There's another one in Death Mountain. Holy cow.
Yeah, the only dungeon we haven't, and that's our second to last dungeon we had yet to find.
Yeah, we haven't found. Yeah, 5 is the only one we haven't seen yet.
But 7, it's kind of on the bigger side. I like that analogy there. That found just a little dirt on top of all the dungeons. And it looks like level 7 for the most part is pretty tame. It's Likes, Fire, Zol and Gel, and Gyptos.
Thanks to the Gyptos, hopefully bombs should not be in short supply here. Hopefully.
And we're seeing Sausage follow suit here. The seed has been more or less linear, I'd say. And there's the power of the red candle, infinite use.
I definitely like seeing the red candle. Especially when you don't have a stronger weapon on hand.
Yeah, it's really good just to help you clear a room. Especially when you have bubbles in it.
So you definitely have to be careful not to get knocked into your own fire.
Yeah. It's interesting that you can damage yourself with it, but I suppose... potential... No, it's just an optional go.
Yeah.
But that could be blocking the Triforce.
Could be, but considering they only need 5, that's not the worst thing to have to see.
Ooh, this could be our item here. What a find it would be if this was the any key or the ladder. $11 hits to get rid of The stack of pancakes that is the like.
It's a pass-through.
Alright.
And he's at the tip of the nose. Yep, flames can still hurt you after you collect a clock. That can be a benefit sometimes. Particularly if you're in a room with wall masters and you kind of lock them into the walls by picking up a clock by accident. And you don't know how to up-egg. Like me when I was a kid.
Yeah, up A is such a useful tool. I think that's kind of why they gave you the ability to kill yourself with the candles, just so you could save and quit at any point without having to do that second controller trick. It was more so of a failsafe than it was an oversight. Of course, for all I know, it was an oversight. And here's the Manhandla.
Oh boy.
He's hurt.
Can't burn that one.
Oh, it's a Super Manhandla.
Yeah. No bombs either.
I think that was a Super Manhandla. I think I counted 5 hits per head.
Ooh. Which means even a bomb wouldn't have been able to one-shot those. And he saves out.
ETAP, it was the 80s. They had to make it so that their save function was somewhat useful. I'm not saying it was a good idea, I'm just saying it was potentially what they had in mind. There's the Manhandla now for Sassage. Onto the ready.
Does have bombs.
Ooh! Waste one.
Yeah, it was wasted either way, because I don't think that one was going to hit anyway.
Okay, they weren't... Okay, I miscounted. It was 4 hits, it looks like. Going to just leave and re-enter.
Yeah, see, maybe... Or just nope out of there. Okay.
Interesting. It looks like that Manhandla might be required, though. It's just in a really awkward room to fight it in.
Mm-hmm, definitely. A lot of stuff in the way.
And it looks like Dark Pulse is grinding bombs in the meantime. Does get some, though.
Okay, I was about to say I didn't think the blue ones drop bombs, but I was just proven wrong.
Blue enemies... General rule of thumb, if it was an overworld enemy, blue enemies were part of the drop pool for bombs.
I know
if it was a dungeon enemy, it was the orange enemies.
Oh, I know I'm pretty sure that the red Lionels drop bombs too. I just wasn't sure if the blue ones did. And I know the blue...
Level 5 is also power bracelet locked. We have found all our dungeons.
Wow.
Alright, so now we know where all our dungeons are, but we only know where a handful of the items are.
And now that SassageLink has a candle, it's going around checking all these candle spots that I believe we'd seen most of them already.
Ironically, one of them was when the candle supposed to lock the candle, and pretty tame Lamola's there.
And this is where having the candle is really nice. You could just
Scroll
mow
them
down.
and scrolling them off screen. And this could be our staircase or it could be our item. It's our staircase. Level 5 onwards has at least one staircase. Level 9 is notorious for having a total of 6.
Plus the 2 item locations, that's a total of 14 rooms that'll have a staircase in it.
And this is our second dungeon with Foal's voice in it. Interesting. Alright. So I have to kill the enemies in order to advance. Shells are not that bad. This is our item.
Yep, it's gotta be.
And I don't think there's any enemies in this room, so...
Force a habit.
Ladder!
Ooh, ho, ho.
Wait a minute!
That is a lovely thing.
Isn't that... No, ladder's in 4 in vanilla. My mistake.
Right, yeah.
Gorgeous 5. But that ladder is huge. Because that gives us the silver arrows. That opens up 8. That opens up so many of our other dungeons.
Opens up silvers. Not
Yes,
though they don't have a bow, so that's not as helpful at the moment. So I don't know if Dark Falls has seen the coast item. I want to say SassageLink did, but I'm not sure if Dark Falls did too.
Dark Falls does not see the coast item, but now with that ladder is incentivized to get there, because that's a free item now for him.
Definitely.
And by just happenstance, it happens to be one of the Gomo items. And there's the Triforce of 5. Wow, 5 is really tame.
Yeah, but Dark Falls had picked up the compass, so we knew it was there.
Ah, that's right. So no book sighting, but... Wow. I only just now looked at SassageLink's timer. We are 50 units in a seed, and we're only 1 Triforce away. This one has been kind of mean. But yes, let me go ahead and give you guys an item rundown of what we have found thus far. Level 1 had the red candle and the power bracelet. Level 2, the recorder. Level 3, the regular boomerang. We don't know what's in 4, 7, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Silver arrows are our ladder item, which we just found in level 5. Our red ring was at Armos. And we have yet to see the white sword location. Items at large: the magical boomerang, the heart container, the wand, the book, the white sword, the bow, and the any key.
And SassageLink finds level 5.
This is good for SassageLink. We'll find the all-important step ladder. And given the layout...
Even though the red ring was at Armos, it was still kind of mean, considering that the said Armos was on the other end of the world from their starting location. They had to get through like Lionels and goodness knows what else to get to it.
And we have a Dodongo sighting at 5.
Free bombs.
And it looks like Dark Falls is taking the incentive here, going to level 2. We know level 2 has a Triforce that we can get. It's relatively early, it's deep in, but we can now get it with that ladder.
Right.
And we know the item here is the recorder, which is not required, but would be very nice for Falls to pick up, considering that Falls has cleared 4. So once Falls enters Go mode, with the bow find, can warp to 4 and then go straight to 9. And a very nicely timed clock, and get rid of this blue whiz robe.
Oh, yeah.
but nothing for it.
Well, there was a fairy drop. Never gonna turn that down.
Can agree to that. That's free healing right there. Arcaneer pickup. Now at 9 hearts. There's the compass. Darkfalls knows where the Triforce is. And we know that the recorder is on the way.
Assuming that he clears rooms as he goes.
I don't think Sassage ever fought a Wizard, though, to get it, so...
Yeah, true enough.
And considering you don't know where the bow is...
Actually, I think, if I remember correctly, I think it was actually in a trap room in 3. It was just sitting there.
It was sitting on the ground, yes, but it wasn't 2.
Yeah, it was in 2. It was just a matter. He didn't have to actually kill anything to get it.
There it is.
Yep.
Alright, so now Darkfalls is going to get this Triforce purely for the sake of having the necessary Triforce to get into 5. And I want to mention, or 9 rather, I misspoke. And I do want to remind everyone that important items can be in 9, so our bow could be in there.
Yeah, that's the million rupee question right now. Does Darkfalls dig 9 hoping that the bow is there? Or does he try to dig other dungeons first?
Oh, ignores that key. Has to kill the enemies to get through.
Yeah, ignoring keys, that's always... Or maybe he just didn't see it until he was already through the door. There we go.
Bush Flood does not need to concern himself with that. Ooh, but this Triforce is arrow locked.
Oh dear. Okay.
So well, 2 is not going to be. 2 is complete dud. Makes you feel kind of good that Sassage is indeed ladder blocked. So now we have to figure out where our bow is.
Yep.
And if the bow has to be in 4, 6, 7, 8, or 9, or it could be also our white sword item. We don't know yet.
Going up, picking up the silvers because why not?
Why not, indeed. And choosing to warp away. That puts them at level 3, and there's level 1.
Yep. I already got all the items out of there.
And I think Darkfalls will be diving 8. 2 items there, so high chance that the bow is there. No! Going to... Wait. Pulling a fast one on me. Yeah, it looks like Darkfalls is going to 8. This is, in my opinion, the best play. Going to 4.
That's what I was thinking. I was trying to... I knew 4 was in that area. I couldn't quite remember where it was. That's what I thought he was going. Seemed like, at the very least, maybe a shorter check than digging 8. Well, the 8 really... Vanilla 8 really isn't that big, I guess. Oh, it turns out that wasn't a Chevy room after all. Okay.
And there's the ladder for Sassage. So now knows that the silver's are now in play.
Yep, and has the compass as well, so knows that he has to go cook some pancakes in order to get the Triforce.
And here's our item in 4. This is important information here. If this is the bow,
please.
If this is the bow, Darkfalls needs to get the Triforce to go. It's the raft!
Oh boy. Not particularly useful in this case, since we know where all the dungeons are.
But that could lead to our white sword item, which could be the bow.
True. Very true. And that's 4 full cleared. Already got the item out of there.
Let's see if 8 here has the bow.
We haven't actually seen the White Sword Cave yet.
All right, staircase right off the get-go, with wall masters guarding it. Will this diamond staircase be the passageway, or will it be one of our 2 items? It is our passageway. Darkfalls is choosing to ignore for the time being. Makes sense considering there's a shutter door right away. And its Rupee boss, for the heart container, can now go get mags.
Or could try. Can try to get mags.
Yes, 10 hearts is the minimum amount for mags, and under our normal rule, under the randomization flags we have for it.
But I think the only reason why the only reason why Dark Falls would go for that check is if we don't find the bow here in 8 and heads for 6 instead.
Yeah, there's not really a good way to get to the mags, unfortunately.
Well, like I said, it's close to 6, but that's really the only reason why you would even check it at this point.
Well, I'm looking at our map. The fastest route is to take the Take-Any roads, which are nowhere near Dark Falls right now, and go to the 4th one we found, and then work your way over to that area. Also, 8 is a Darknut dungeon. Oof. And Sassage. Oh no. I can't help but feel bad for Sassage. So hopeful that this is a free Triforce, but we know that it is not. And I do not think we have seen both boomerangs, have we?
No, we only saw the regular one. We haven't seen the magical one yet.
Yeah, we're only getting We're only getting text regarding the magical boomerang because of the old man message. All right, so this here is an item. It is our first item in 8. Let's see what we find. It is the scrap metal.
There's the magical boomerang.
Leaving that behind.
And Dark Slotcher's like about to get the bad news.
Goma blocked Triforce in 2.
Yep.
Although this aid is not fifth flame kind. Nice kill there for Dark Falls.
Checking for bomb holes as he's going.
And unfortunately runs into a 3-headed Gleeok. And yeah, it's using bombs to try to defeat these darkness, but this is actually a fairly okay rune to fight them in.
Yeah.
You can even use the walls there as sort of a way to sneak him a few hits. It's from below. And whittling him down slowly but surely.
So where is SassageLink headed?
Sassage is heading to 6.
Yeah, it's looking that way.
This is an interesting bit of divergence. Oh no! Darkfall is trapped!
Yeah, looks like he's well and truly trapped there.
Goma locking Darkfalls in.
I'm a little surprised he's not trying to take out the Gleelock to open the door there, because that could be where the other item is, unless we had already seen where that is.
We've not seen what's above the Manahana, although we haven't seen what the item, if Manahana is guarding that Triforce.
Okay, we have seen that room. Okay, so that's...
And unless the Triforce is here, no reason to fight these blue dark nuts.
Someone forgot to lock the door behind him, so gladly take his leave.
Some free money. And we are in the eye of the Lion Key. There's the Triforce, and it was ladder blocked.
Yeah, it was. He's like he's gonna hold off on picking it up until he finds that other item. Or maybe
although I'm dumb. I just remembered this entire dungeon was ladder blocked.
Yes, yes, it was.
There's a key and can go north or right. Going right first. Nothing going. Alright, so 2 rooms left for Darkfalls here.
It's actually 3.
Find Zelda's room, but that is only the room, does not actually contain Zelda. So it looks like, oh, there's 3 rooms left, yeah. Darkfall's gonna take the Triforce and get out here. That is the Darkfall's fit Triforce. So, given the fact that there is 1 item each in 6, 7, and 8.
Well, he's heading back in. It was probably picking up the Triforce as a substitute for up aing, probably.
Yeah. And yeah, that is the room that Gleelock is guarding. So
we gotta.
I think the play for
6.
Yeah, I think the play for Darkfalls is Darkfalls will check this place. There's the palm hole. There's the item. Just gotta get past these gels. The item here in 8
drum roll
is the any key.
Okay.
Fred?
Not what we need, but it's definitely something we would want.
Yeah, any key means that any locked doors are not an issue anymore. So it's 5. Or no, it's 6, it's 7, or it's 9, or it's the white sword cave. Here's the item at 6. It's the bow!
Oh, baby. Bow has been found.
And that puts SassageLink in go mode at 1 hour and 9 minutes. Because Sassage, we know for a fact, has knowledge of those silver arrows at the coast item.
Well, he already picked them up.
Alright, so...
More to the point, he knows that the Triforce in 2 is arrow blocked and can go ahead and get it and not even bother with 8 at all. So, having... keys might end up being an issue in 9 in that case. But Is Darkfall's gonna try and dig 9 for the bow?
This looks like a 9. 9 play.
That would be very unfortunate.
No. And yeah, Chad is bringing up a good point here. Keys might be a problem in 9 for Sassage.
I believe I had already mentioned that, but anyway. Yeah, if he doesn't go into 8, and he's got 2 keys now, no guarantee about whether you'll find more in 9.
Wow, Darkfall's decided to walk all the way back to the spawn point. They're not up in A. Only to get robbed.
Yeah, that's an interesting routing decision there. Yeah, we haven't seen the Mr. Grumble Grumble yet either.
Yeah, the bait block. We've seen at least one mugger. And I believe there can be a total of 3.
I thought it was 2, but maybe I'm mistaken.
It's somewhere around there. Gotta check the raft spot here. This raft.
Remember, we still haven't found the white sword item yet. The white sword location, rather.
And there is the final Triforce piece for Sassage. Now himself has access to level 9. Gonna do an up and save and quit. Gonna go and heal up at the fountain.
It's nice that there's a fairy fountain within close reach of a start. That's always a nice thing to see.
Yeah. And oh no, is Darkfall's thinking the White Sword Cave is the bow?
Possibly. We know it isn't, but he doesn't. It's not a bad play. There's probably not that many places to even check in the overworld anymore.
I can only think of the other coast or the other raft spot, and I think that's where Darkfalls is heading.
There's also the block right around here.
Yeah. Money. 2 rupees. Alright, so SassageLink is now entering level 9, and we are going to be looking for 2 things in particular. Well, looking for one thing, but listening for another. The one thing we're listening for is the roar of Ganon. If we hear it, Ganon will be 1 room adjacent into us. Although Patras, which are prevalent as the boss in this dungeon, not a 10 art mags, by the way.
Nope.
But Patras can mask the roar of Ganon. We are also looking for a single shutter door that does not open when we kill all the enemies in the room. That is Zelda's room. Conversely, if we have defeated Ganon, that door will automatically open for us.
You know, Darkfalls is heading into 6, which is the correct move.
Yes. To help us out in level 9, there are 3 hitmen, but we can't understand them at all, so they're not going to help us at all.
Yeah.
But if we could...
Yeah, we still need to find that book to translate the octogenarianese.
Yes. But if we could understand them, we would get a hint to which quadrant Ganon is in, which quadrant Zelda is in, where our silvers are, which ones we don't want to see, and also where the compass is. We, however, seeing only one mugger and no bait, one of those hints can be eaten up by one of those 2 NPCs. And again, for all we know, the book could be in here.
There's staircase, but they're probably low priority right now. And wise move, in my opinion, not wanting to deal with the pointless room of blue Wizrobes.
And yeah, Wizards in 9. Oof.
Especially when you only have the wooden sword.
Yeah.
If you had white sword, it wouldn't be as bad, but with wooden sword being your wooden sword and bombs being your only means of offense against them, that's not ideal. Let's just say.
No, I would say not.
Although one of the
There's one of our hits, but it's been eaten by a mugger.
Yeah, one thing that I was about to mention, we also hadn't seen any bomb upgrades either.
Well, bomb upgrades cannot be in 9.
Fair enough. But I'm just saying we hadn't seen either of them yet.
So this just became a very difficult dungeon. But here's the thing. It's still anyone's race. Level 9 is known as the Great Equalizer for good reason.
Yeah, because it's very, very big, and in cases like this, the enemies do not play nice.
It earned its title.
The only real consolation they have is that they've got red ring.
Yeah. There is a significant health.
They did find a key, so that's good. I don't think there's even used any yet in here. It's been a lot of bomb holes.
Yeah, this is fairly kind in the terms of bombs. Now, Melee, I'm going to ask you this simply as a curious question. If you see a staircase, do you take it here in 9 just to hope for another item? Like,
if anything, I'd probably take it and maybe even go through it just to eliminate those 2 rooms from contention or something.
Alright, well, go mode for Dark Falls.
Yep, already has all 5 Triforces. He's not sticking around.
I don't blame him. So we have So Status has probably got maybe a 4-minute lead in level 9 exploration on Dark Falls. However, Dark Falls, I believe, has a potion that he is yet to drink and has a fair amount more health.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think SassageLink ever checked the take any caves in the
and Sassage is checking
Eastern Forest.
This cave spot. No, what? That was our second large. Where? What? I'm confused now.
I think Dark Falls might be too.
Where? No, Falls is going to warp to 4.
Right.
We have never saw the White Sword Cave.
Yeah, no, you're the one marking the map as you go, so I don't know if there's any spots that hasn't been checked yet. Probably not that many, to be sure.
Well, I was only keeping track of the dungeons and any roads. The
Fair
important
enough.
things. But looking at the map, the only thing I can think of that we haven't checked is we never went by Spectacle Rock.
No, that's been checked. Didn't have much. But yeah, SassageLink has a bit of an advantage in
resources just to
Dark
spend.
Falls is paying for it, paying the toll, but
Could have blasted right out.
goodness knows when you have over 200 rupees in level 9, you don't really need that much. Yes, Dark Falls has more health, the infinite keys. As SassageLink has a bit of an exploration advantage, so we'll see how things pan out.
Yeah. Dark Falls did pay that mugger.
Yeah, like as I said, he's got tons of money. He probably doesn't care.
And there is an opening there for Sassage to escape. Gonna grab the key and gut.
Key first. Yep, there we go.
Oh, and this is a ladder clip from Dark Falls. Ganon!
Oh!
Ganon's
Wow!
almost masked by Patra.
Dang!
Alright, so it is 15 hits with the wood sword. And Ganon itself is affected by the plus or minus 2. However, it cannot be above its base 15.
SassageLink is... Ooh. Oh, thought had a stun lock for a moment, but no.
Takes a shot there.
And yeah, down he goes, but knows where Ganon is.
That's where Ganon is, but only with 7 heart containers. Those Takeny caves that Dark Falls found might be the difference here, in all honesty.
It wasn't even just Takeny caves either, because he's got a... But, well, yeah, he's got a 3 heart advantage. I think he grabbed one out of a dungeon, too. That SassageLink thing. Maybe it was the one in 8.
No, I think Dark Falls found all the Takeny caves.
Well, I'm saying... I think SassageLink found at least one as well, so that... the Takeny caves by itself wouldn't account for the advantage of Dark Falls using one of his potions.
Playing it safe. I don't blame him.
So, the question now for SassageLink, do you go ahead and try to go after Ganon again? Or do you explore more of the dungeon and hope to find Zelda?
Zelda could be right here.
I think he came in from the bottom, so...
Ah. The passageway.
I think he's... I want to say he's heading for Ganon again. I think this was the path that he took for it. But he's at a heart and a half.
There's another transport.
Oh dear. Yeah, this was definitely the path to Ganon. It's that one heart. He's gotta be real careful about this one.
Yeah. A Ganon hug, or as the Hyrule Driver, some people have nicknamed it, would be instant death for SassageLink. And there it is.
And there it is. Ugh.
I spoke of it, and thus it came to pass. If that's not a commentator's curse, I don't know what is.
Yeah, at some point, if you're gonna be taking shots again, and I've been thinking maybe to save out, hit up the ferry before diving into 9 again, just so that you might actually have some health. Because you're starting with 3, you gotta get lucky with heart drops to. Well, he's getting lucky with heart drops now, but
yeah. Blueberry is, I think, are in the health dropping pool.
That full
Although
health, and looks like he's might be going in a different direction now, unless.
Really is wasting a lot of silver arrows here all of a sudden.
Yeah, definitely. Though the thing is, you only need 1.
That is true. But if you're relying on that too heavily, that could be a huge detriment to you in the long run.
And Dark Falls has found the path to Ganon. It just requires... There's a couple of bomb holes in the way, though, and he's not heading the right way for that just yet. Mad Matt, unfortunately...
Yeah, he was answering, he was asking a question to one of our other... to actually one of our admins is here for this tournament, Jay Coper. Alright.
SassageLink full health this time.
Round 3. Fight. Alright, so there's a hint. Unfortunately, we don't know it.
Apparently, Darkfall's found where Zelda is. I completely missed that.
I missed it too. I was busy looking at Ganon fight.
Yeah,
still
that's
not
one that's
there.
going a lot better. He's getting a few hits in, but he's taking some hits as well. Getting some...
There it is! Stunlock! Ganon's down!
Got him! Okay. Phase
Alright,
one complete.
Triforce about to get, but now it is a race for SassageLink. Darkfalls needs to find Zelda. SassageLink does not know where Zelda is.
But apparently Darkfall's already found Zelda.
I misspoke.
Yeah.
Wait, no, there's Zelda right there! It's over!
Wow, okay.
Why are you fighting the enemies? Sassage, go to the door!
Maybe, did he not notice that the... Okay, maybe he didn't notice that the door opened when he entered the room.
Well, either way, GG's to SassageLink, who is finished in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 26 minutes, and 31 seconds. Oh boy, this is a good one.
Yeah, this one was definitely came down to the wire.
Yeah, we'll see if Sasha will come in for an interview here in a little bit. This scene was very, very interesting. We never found that White Sword Cave. I'm curious what's the... Alright, well, we know now that it can only have had our heart container, the book, the wand, or the white sword. But I can't think of any place it could have been. I think we checked everywhere in the overworld. And unfortunately, there is no way to look it up without going through the seed ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the runners get a spoiler log for obvious reasons. And Darkfalls is noping out.
Out of bombs.
Oh, yeah. He'll definitely need those.
Alright, so we're gonna see if Sassage will join us for the interview here. So, while we're waiting, let's go ahead and talk about the seed here. This seed... pretty okay, I'd say.
Yeah, despite being infested with Lionels in the early goings, yeah, things went pretty well. Nothing particularly trolly except maybe Triforce 2. Though really SassageLink was the only one that really pursued that any farther. Yeah, Bo was definitely the big one.
Yeah, that bow and 6 was...
Especially if for no other reason than the fact that 6 was such a remote location, separate, just out of the way from pretty much everywhere else. So many of the dungeons were in Death Mountain. There was nothing else except for Magical Sword Cave in that corner.
So, yeah, this... I'm just gonna look at the at my map tracker that I was using and figure out where we missed something.
So Dark Falls has been to the right stairway to get to where Ganon is. Just doesn't know because he did not have any bombs to pursue that path further. So we'll see if Dark Falls goes in the right direction here. Yeah, this is the right one.
All right.
But it doesn't quite make it though. Yeah, and I see SassageLink in the board. I'll go ahead and drag him on up.
GG, SassageLink, and welcome to your win.
Oh, thank you.
So, what did you think of this seed, all in all?
It was a little on the confusing side, but just got lucky finding that bow in 6. Kind of gave up on 4 there, so I wasn't sure, and I was just hoping to get it and get that last Triforce piece, get into go mode.
Well, you made a good call there because 4 had our ladder. We actually don't know where the White Sword is. Or the White Sword Cave, rather.
I only had a handful left to try, so had the Vanilla 9 and there, and I think a couple bushes I didn't burn. That was about it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map here. It's... I think Dark Falls did check up by Vanilla 9, so...
Okay.
The only spot I can think of is the bush next to the desert.
Yeah, could have been there or just below it.
No, the whole of Canada Lily, I think, was checked.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was crazy. I was a little nervous getting into level 9 only having the wood sword there.
Yeah, Dark Falls is in the same boat you are.
Yeah.
Dark Falls using his second potion.
Well, while we're interviewing here, would you do me a... Would you go ahead and try to look for the White Sword so we can figure out what it was?
Oh,
Just
really...
sate the curiosity of our audience.
Yeah, I'll look around and see.
Thank you. So, this seed was kind of just all over the place. The combat was pretty fine, all things considering. It wasn't too terribly bad.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Just have the whiz robes here and there. Nothing too horrible on it, so that was nice to have.
So Dark Falls has heard the roar. That was just a matter of getting to it.
Yeah, we don't know where the book was, or the heart container, or the wand.
Okay.
Or even the White Sword.
That's probably the only spots missed in a few dungeons. Looks like it's setting me back to no weapons here.
Yeah,
never mind then.
Went to second place. Yeah.
Yeah, never mind then. It's unfortunate, but
Ooh, Dark Falls found it.
Yep, it's time for Dark Falls. Yeah, it's time for Dark Falls to find the pig.
So you did dive 6 first. So you were able to you did find the bow first. It was pretty much the go mode item for both of you.
Okay.
And you had maybe a like 4 or 5 minute advantage in exploration.
Oh wow. Okay.
Dark Falls did dig in 8. Did find the magical key out of 8.
Okay. Yeah, that was another concern I had there. Only going in, I think I had 3 keys going into 9.
Thankfully, that was not an issue.
Yeah, I got fortunate there. If not, I'd have been double dipping trying to get that magic key. So.
Alright, Dark Falls is fighting again still. So... I have to ask you about that too.
on! Oh! Ah, man.
So,
So close.
you found the compass early, and then you realize it's ladder blocked.
Mhm.
And then
Yes.
you came back with the ladder, only to find that it was also
It's boom
bow
blocked.
blocked.
Yeah.
What was your thought process going there up until you found the bow?
I wasn't sure if I was even going to be going back into 2 at any point. I was almost thinking the bow was going to be a level 9 item. So I went back to 6 just to see if I could find a quick Triforce and get into 9. But thankfully I found the item there and just got back to level 2 as quick as I could.
Meanwhile, smart play by Dark Falls, checking the potion shop in Vanilla 6. Cheap red potions, only cost 48.
Yeah, that'll be helping a lot. But yeah, the money on the sea was just abysmal.
Yes, it was bad. Usually if it's a good money seed, I'll be buying the blue ring early, but thankfully I found that red ring right off the rip.
Yeah, that saved this from being a true poverty seed, in my opinion.
Yes.
Not to mention, like, with all the Lionels around, not being too shot by everything.
Right. Yeah, that made it a little tricky exploring right at the beginning, just having so many Lionels and blue levers all around. But yeah, finally got through that after dying a couple times. Was able to find that red ring fast, which that was a huge relief.
Oof, Darkfall seeking another death. So, we did see what was in level 8 just briefly. It was only saw the magical boomerang.
Okay.
So yeah, we found most of the items here. The ones we didn't find were the heart container, the book, the wand, and the white sword.
And we never did find the item out of 7. Really not. We didn't find the one in 7, right?
Yeah, we did not find the one in 7. We did not find the one in. We found the one in 6. That was our bow. We didn't find either item in 9.
Oh, while I'm thinking about it, there was, I want to say it was in 7, that first Dig Dogger you fought, that was, you played the whistle, and it was
And he died.
fatal.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, we were kind of flabbergasted we had no idea what to make of that.
I've never seen that before.
And someone in chat gave us the idea that maybe it was a leader room.
Oh, that's an idea.
So when you killed the Dig Dogger, it could only have been the one with the leader flag. So when it spawned its mini Dig Doggers, they had to die.
Yep. Yeah, I was kind of hoping for that to happen again, that second Dig Dogger I faced, because I completely mistimed the bomb and the flute. Ended up missing the B button there.
And
It is...
7.
Yeah, that was still very interesting. It kind of just stunned us.
12.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not know what to make of that, so...
15, 14, 15. Down goes
And
Ganon.
we have bacon for Dark Falls, and we know Zelda is only just around the corner.
Yeah, we were kind of wondering, did you not notice that that door had opened? Because we noticed you were still you were still killing the Wizrobes.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a standard shutter. I was shaking and getting all excited, so... I ended up killing a couple of those Wizrobes and noticed it was open, hurried up and got in there.
Yeah, and GG to Dark Falls, who finishes in seconds with a time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 22 seconds. So GG to both of them. Oof. This seed was kind of mean in that there was not a lot of progress made at the start. It was fairly slow, but once it got going, it kind of was Triforce, go mode.
Yeah. And I think out of all the seeds I've played with these flags, that was the first time I found the ladder in less than an hour. And I think it was 57, 58 minutes.
It's always the ladder, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And it's like the last race I tracked, there was that legendary ladder in 9 seed.
Oh.
Oh, we had a few of them. And I do see Dark Falls is in the waiting room here. Should we go ahead and pull him in?
Oh, got it.
GG to you, Dark Falls. And what a seed this was. This seed was pretty convoluted, I'll say, in terms of finding everything. We didn't even find the white sword, I think.
I have every cave on my tracker checked off, and I never saw it, so I'm extremely confused right now.
Something I noticed, did you ever burn the bush next to the desert?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
Actually, I do have that one checked off too.
Alright.
Because I have the one next to the desert, I have that as any road.
No. The one
The one to the west of the desert?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that one checked off.
Me too.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know where this white sword is.
Yeah, there were,
Thankfully, it turns out you guys didn't need whatever was there.
yeah.
Yeah, it could have only been the book, the wand, the heart container, or the white sword, vanilla. And unfortunately, it was not a 10 sword mag, Starfalls, as much as you would have loved to have that.
Yeah, I was looking for the bow. I figured I'd try for mags, and I didn't want to go in there without the bow, so 6 was the next smallest dungeon other than 7, so
Oh yeah, we did get both items at
I
A.
figured I'd go over there first.
Yeah, you did at least have an advantage with having the any key out of A. But that advantage was a moot point because most of the path to Ganon was just through bomb walls.
Yeah, I finally got the ending key in level 9, and I don't even need it.
It's never a bad thing to have, either way.
Yeah. And so
If nothing else, it's peace of mind.
So Darfalls, this is gonna be something that might break your mind here. We saw Digdark die instantly after playing the recorder on Sassage's end.
Was it the master enemy room by chance?
That's the running theory about it.
Yes.
It was a dig dugger by itself. SassageLink played the flute, and it was an insta kill.
I didn't see any master enemy kills in my game, so there has to be at least one, so that could be it.
Yeah. I wouldn't know what to look for in terms of master enemy rooms.
Basically, if you kill one thing, everything else dies, and you kill the main body, so the little ones would die too.
Yeah, knowing my luck, even if I found it, I would the master enemy would be the one I'd take out last.
So yeah, in terms of the seed, this is actually fairly straightforward. And had you found the book, I was a little bit worried that if you found the book and you found a hint for level 9 requiring a feat of strength, that you would be misled that the power bracelet was required. Because
well, 2 and 5 and 8 were both under power bracelet spots too.
Yeah, and it turns out 5 was required.
So it became a kind of a moot point then.
Yeah, but for a little while there, because of the grave counting as a feat of strength spot, I was worried that you guys might have got misled if you found that book and that hint.
No, I'm aware of that hint. Yeah, well, GG Sausage, thank you to Melee and Wolf for the tracking, and thank you Speed Gaming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, make sure to give these two a follow here. They put on an excellent race for today. A bit of a slog because of just where everything was, but still a good race all the same. While you're at it, make sure to give us a follow here on Speed Gaming 5. We have another channel, Speed Gaming 6, and of course, Speed Gaming's 1, Speed Gaming the original 2, 3, and 4. We also have a Spanish restream, a German restream, and a French restream here. So make sure to follow.
Have Link to the Past which the latter two have Link to the Past randomizer tournament specifically for them. Which is
So that's always good to watch. So if you understand language, there's commentary for you there as well. And of course, Zelda 1 is not the only tournament going on here at Speed Gaming. There's a whole slew of them. And but if you are interested in Zelda 1, coming up actually next on this channel, well, we have you on the tracker, Rick, I believe, or Dark Falls. I'm sorry, for Kazardia and Paratroopa's match.
Actually, Dark Falls is doing commentary for the 7:30 match, Radio Rich G and Taco on Speed Gaming 4.
Oh, it is? I should have refreshed before I mentioned that then. My mistake.
I had just pulled up the schedule myself. Yep, so we got Zardia and Paratroopa 1 at 9 o'clock Eastern right here on Speed Gaming 5.
Yeah, and Dark Falls will be commentating on Speed Gaming 4, or 30 minutes later. And then a whole bunch, and that's all that's going to be on Speed Gaming. There's a few that are going to be hosted on, there's a couple that are going to be hosted at Random Mania, closer to 10 and 11 o'clock.
And a couple that are on more personal channels.
Yeah, so feel free to check the schedule there to see where they are.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
So it's a GG to you both. It was a bit of a rough going at first, but things kind of evened out at the end.
Yeah, 7 p.m. for a Rick's match.
Yep.
But yeah,
So, thank you for joining us for watching this lovely race. Follow our runners. They put on a heck of a show for you guys.
Yes,
Follow my co-commentator, Wolflink0370.
And don't forget to follow my co-commentator and also our tracker, Melee Wizard. But that's going to do it for us here. So from all of us here at the Zelda 1 Randomizer Tournament, I have been Wolflink0370, and we shall see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.